New at 6, some state lawmakers wonder if you should have to give a reason when you vote early or absentee through the mail.
Fox 23's Devin Lyon is live in the newsroom to explain why supporters say it's about election integrity, while opponents say this violates your right to vote.
State Representative Molly Jenkins is hoping her bill would prevent things like double voting. She says, why not protect your constitutional rights at the polls with this simple step? Meanwhile, critics of the bill say it's asking for too much. They say it could be a slippery slope against that same constitutional right.
We do have, a strong election system here in Oklahoma, but this is going to make it just that much stronger.
This bill is the opposite of conservative. It's anti-constitutional and it's unpatriotic.
This is just some of the back and forth at the state capitol about House Bill 1515. The legislation drafted by Representative Jenkins was presented to the House Elections and Ethics Committee last week. It would require voters who vote absentee to check a box as to why they are doing so. Jenkins says it's a quick and easy step towards further securing Oklahoma elections.
I know that we did have some double voting in 2020, and that was the reason why I thought, hey, we need to strengthen our election system here in Oklahoma. And like I said, it's a very strong we have a strong election system here in Oklahoma, but we can make it stronger because just even rare fraud undermines our public trust. And when people trust the system, they're going to show up and vote.
Meanwhile, State Representative Mickey Dolan says it's encroaching on your constitutional right to vote, and no other right under the Constitution requires you to give the government your reason for using those rights.
There's no reason why a U.S. citizen should have to explain to the government or get a permission slip from the government to exercise their right to vote. We continue to see these bills that present like we have a problem with voter fraud when we actually don't.
The bill experienced some back and forth following another 30 minutes of discussion in committee.
I can't think of any other fundamental right in the U.S. that requires a citizen to explain why they are exercising it. Why should voting be any different?
Again, this is foundational. Voting is a right that we have, and this is simply a measure that will allow us the opportunity to make sure that people are being responsible, and it's very simple. All they have to do is check a box. Not much required of them, won't take but a second.
The bill eventually passed at a 4-3 vote. It initially tied 3-3. House Speaker Pro Tem Anthony Moore was then called to break that tie, passing the bill through the committee.
Now, like every bill we brought you thus far, there's still quite the road ahead before this changes how absentee voters cast their ballots. It has to go through an oversight committee, then the state house, and then it'll eventually be handed over to the state senate to be voted on. Live in the newsroom, covering news that matters, Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
Oklahoma would not be the first state for this requirement. Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee are just 3 of nearly a dozen states that also ask for your reason.